is recording. Don't touch it again for 60 minutes. Okay.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
My name is Vincent.
Hi, Vincent.
So, I left class on Tuesday, a couple weeks ago. How I was actually going to go about doing this, because I had been planning on just going home and sleeping, because I had been exhausted from the night before. I was at a film shoot all night, and I had been planning on just going home and sleeping for a really long time, and then cleaning the next day. My new apartment was just in the dark place. But I actually remembered I had my first pass at 5 o'clock. So I stayed on campus and went to Powell to rent out a computer. And then I had some dinner plans with some friends, so I did that. And they gave me a few samples for this RESPECE exercise that I'm going to tell you about right now. The good, the bad, the ugly of it. Now, we went to 800 Degrees for dinner. And I had a really nice exchange with the cashier fellow there. I approached him very openly, had good body language, made eye contact with him, smiled, said, "How was your day?" And he said, "Good, thank you for asking." He was surprised actually that, or I felt like he was surprised that he even was acknowledged. So his tone was rather flat. I kind of felt like he was just giving me like a knee-jerk reaction, but I like to think that by asking him that I did ameliorate his day. Now, as far as bad experiences, at Powell, I went to check out a computer to do my first pass because I had forgotten mine at home. So that exchange with the lady running the checkout was a bit. It was professional, but it wasn't, it wasn't that connection or that deeper connection that I had, I guess, with the guy at 800 Degrees. I approached her much the same way, and then I asked her how she was doing. She just said, "Fine, thanks," and just kind of went along to give me, all the information necessary, all the how long I could take it out, how long, or how much, it would cost me if I didn't return the computer, stuff like that, and kind of just went on with her business. So that was a very professional exchange, but it wasn't, great, I guess, so we can call it that. Now, I guess I actually remember this after I had written the summary, but because it was a very short interaction. But I guess you could call this an ugly experience. I visited my sleepmate from last year, actually. I visited him on campus the day after, and I walked in the room, and he gestures, this is my roommate, and I said, I smiled at him and said, "Hey, how's it going?" And he just kind of looked up from his computer game. He was like, "So," and then he looks back and starts playing again. So that was kind of kind of abrupt, not extremely polite, but he was in the middle of something. But yeah, you can call that an ugly experience. A note on this exercise with friends. I had a difficult time deciding what to do with friends, just because I felt like doing this exercise kind of forces you, even if you're used to giving respect on a regular basis. I feel like doing this exercise with friends kind of forces you to fabricate a personality, and that's kind of difficult. It just feels very strange doing that, especially with people that you're close to. So, and then just to summarize, I learned with friends, it's just odd trying to, because I feel like the default is that you give your friends respect. It's kind of a given, you respect them, and then they're your friends, they respect you as well. Aside from that, I learned that strangers, I feel like this exercise, giving respect to strangers, it kind of regresses to a mean. You get this, for the most part, this very professional, this very polite, just like non-feeling response, more often than you would get either great responses, or on the flip side, you won't get that many ugly or really harsh reactions that often. But above all, we should just give respect because it's the right thing to do, and it can only serve to make your interaction better.
Thank you. Okay, let's start in the back today.
Hi, my name is Alvin.
Hi,
Alvin.
Yeah, I really like this speech. I like how you organize it from the good, the bad, and the ugly. You're very vocal about it. You talk about your personal stories and like, and you're open about it.
Okay, thank you, Alvin. Improvement?
Hi, I'm Eliana.
Hi,
Eliana.
I like your speech. It was well-rounded, but I think the only thing that you need to do is speak a little louder.
Jackie Moore? Let me talk about your speech. Your intro was a little rambling. I wasn't sure where you were going with it. You started off sort of telling us about your day and what was going on and what you were doing, and we finally got down to, you went to a restaurant that was good and you talked to the clerk. And the cashier, you gave him or her respect and you got a fairly good response, and so that was good, I guess. You said that the UCLA clerk for the laptop was not as good, and I assume you were repeating the mantra and trying to be respectful to her the whole time, and she just was doing her business and doing her script, right? Yeah. Remember, this is for your benefit, not so much for them, but I just want her to know you were respectful toward her, okay? On the third one, on what you called the ugly, I don't know about, I know from many instances of interrupting people that are playing a computer game that it's a no-no. That there's a great concentration going on, and there's men to be killed and so forth, you know, or you will die if you take your mind off the game for too long. So I'm not sure that was a fair assessment. I like the way you looked at what you learned and you numbered them. That was good. As far as creating a personality for friends, I think we've heard in here in class that some friends are surprised when you're suddenly more solicitous and more sensitive and more friendly and that sort of thing. So I don't think that's such a bad situation. So overall, you did a nice job. Thank you. Okay, any more respects?
Yes.
Okay, come on down. The tape's rolling. Hi, how you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Good. What is this?
The
It's not due yet.
Really?
Isn't it due next
Next week.
Tuesday? Yeah. So study on it more. Make sure you have a perfect answer.
Should I begin?
No, you gotta manage attention. Communicate respect. He's texting. They're talking. Clear your voice for them. Find friendly eyes, never front and center. Say your name. Feel the love. Start your speech.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Georgia Ray.
Hi, Georgia.
Hi. So today I want to talk to you a little bit about my experience with the respect exercise. So as you guys know, our assignment was to repeat the mantra, I respect you, whenever we encountered people, verbally and non-verbally. I practiced this. My non-verbal cues were those such as taking off my sunglasses, which I normally wear. But I noticed that I could connect more with people through eye contact. And I also noticed I wanted to stop texting on my phone as much. And I felt a better connection that way as well. And verbally, when I encountered people and interacted with them, I asked them how their days were going. I was a little friendlier and genuinely interested in how they were doing. And I felt for me that overall this experience was a pretty gratifying one. I learned quite a bit, and I'll illustrate that hopefully clearly through my points, the good, the bad, and the ugly. For my good point, so the initial morning we were supposed to give this speech. It was, I think, a couple Thursdays ago. I was so nervous about the impending speech, just we have to talk in front of a bunch of people. And as I was leaving my apartment after I'd written my summary, I kind of forgot about the respect exercise. And then I remembered when I encountered my landlord and the maintenance manager. And I communicated my nervousness, sheer nervousness. And they said, you know what, you're going to be great, you're awesome, this is going to be super easy. And the maintenance guy, I think he could tell that I was still pretty nervous because he said, you know what, you're going to be good, but worst comes to worst, down a couple shots of tequila, no problem. I didn't take him up on it. But, so for my bad experience, I wouldn't call either of my experiences quite bad or ugly, but if I had to categorize a couple as such, this would be one. When I was at the Coffee Bean that day, I was just really tired from the new school week. It was just kind of intense, all of the classes. But I made an effort to communicate with the cashier at the Coffee Bean. I asked her how her day was going, and I was really genuinely interested, asking her a few questions, and she just, ignored me and said, thank you, here's your receipt. And that was not ideal. For my ugly experience, I was at Sprouts Market on Westwood, and I saw an elderly woman, maybe in her 80s, quite petite like me, myself, and I thought, how can I be respectful with her? I thought, wow, she's carrying about 5 bags, pushing 5 heavy-looking grocery bags in a cart, and I thought, oh, maybe I'll offer to help her take them from the cart and put them in her car. So I did, and I was really excited about this opportunity. I went up to her, I said, good afternoon, ma'am, how are you? May I help you move your bags from your cart to your car? And without a smile, without any friendliness or warmth, she said, no, thanks, I'm fine. While that was not bad, I was a little disappointed, I felt a little rejected, and a little silly for offering my help. So while that experience was not ideal, the next day I wondered, what can I learn from this fairly, seemingly negative experience? And I learned that I remembered to just attempt to see a silver lining, that even though some experiences may appear negative initially, if you look for the positive, you can usually come up with one. That was a great reminder in and of itself. And then I remembered from the bad experience with the cashier to just continue to be respectful. So I was reminded of persistence, not quitting. And overall, I would say this was a gratifying experience. I do think that being respectful has a positive impact for yourself and for others. And I hope to continue to practice this in the future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Tom.
Hi.
I really like her speech. She is really relaxed and she's actually slow and clear. And her speech is really well structured. So it's great.
So it's easy to follow, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Improvement?
Hi, I'm Angelica. I really liked your speech, but if I had to pick something to point out as an improvement, maybe focus a little more on eye contact. I feel like we're focusing a little bit more towards the front and the center. But other than that, it was great.
Yeah. Also, you were pacing. Were you aware of that? You pace back and forth. You
Yeah.
do a little bit of walking.
Too much walking.
This is how you relax. And if you could just walk 3 times during the main body of your speech, this will still help you relax. Then you do more stand and deliver. I like your speech. You're very fluid. You're a very likable speaker. You didn't have anything to worry about. I like that you confided with your friends at your home that you had a big event coming up. I have had students do the shots of tequila in an effort to quell their anxiety, and it doesn't work. It's embarrassing is what it really is. So what I wrote here is if you can just stand still, stand and deliver, you'll be in much better shape. On the Coffee Bean, as long as you were respectful toward her and you were practicing it, there's no account. I warned you, unless you are really good at breaking their script, some of them are really programmed just to be robots and efficient, and there's not much to do about that. On the little old lady from Pasadena and trying to help her with her 6-bag, I don't know what the dynamics were. I don't know if she was fearful of you. You don't look very scary. It wasn't like some big man trying to grab her groceries or something. Maybe she felt that you felt that she wasn't self-sufficient or something. So she wanted to say, "What are you saying? I can't lift a paper bag into my car." I don't know. But I like the impulse that you had the impulse to do that. I like that very much. As far as your summing up of what you learned, I thought you did that well. And remember just to repeat your mantra so you're in the habit of doing this, and you will get the benefit. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Any more respect? Clock ticking. RESPECE. Still plowing through catch-22.
Yeah, I'm not enjoying it very much.
Minds of your life, huh?
Not so much.
Hi.
Hi, I'm David.
Wait, David, I hear a lot of chatter out here. Communicate respect. I'm from the items of the front and center. Say your name, feel the love. Start your speech.
Okay, hi everybody, I'm David. I'm going to talk about
Hi, David.
my respect experiment. Hi. So at first I thought this experiment was for us to build up a habit of respecting anyone in our life, because expressing respect not only to each and every person we met, do anything like this many, you will become a habit. But at last I thought I might have learned something else. This experiment I wanted to divide them into 3 stages. I named them still getting shy, still being shy, getting used to, and seeing everything. About still being shy, I live off campus. Me and my friends, we rented an apartment outside, and this time I was back home, and I opened the door and saw my friend, a girl, and I suddenly realized that I'm going to do this experiment. So instead of saying I'm back, I squeezed a smile, a very weird smile on my face, and I looked at her, not saying anything, and she froze there with a very, very, very weird looking on her face and said, "What are you doing? Are you going to hit on me?" I said no, because her boyfriend lived with us as well. And I explained to her that I was doing this experiment. I forgot, instead of saying anything, I expressed my respect this way to her, and she okay, you better do better next time. And this is getting used to. This is still being shy. And next stage, I call them getting used to. I don't live around here. I don't actually live in LA. I just got here 2 weeks ago. And Chinese people really love shopping. And this day I went shopping with my friends. I was getting some shower gels, shampoo, conditioners. And I met this salesperson. This time I really started opening up my mind, talk to him and say how was the day, and express my respect to him. And he was really happy and gave me a lot of samples, this one is earns, this one is what, this one. I didn't really understand anything, but I feel really warm. I get really a lot of free stuff. I gotta open them and try them in the house. And this is getting used to. And the next stage is, I call them seeing everything. When I first got LA, I realized that I forgot my driving lessons at home, so I cannot rent a car. So my friends and I use Lyft and Uber really a lot. And this time we met a driver using Lyft, and I'm already used to express myself. I opened up my mind and talked to him, and he was everything I said, he was oh, yeah, okay, and squeeze this kind of smile on his face. I can see that he was trying to express his respect back to me, but he was not that sincere like the salesperson at the mall I met. So I can see that some person are very sincere and smile back at me. Some people are just being polite, and some people just don't like open up their hearts. So I call this stage seeing everything. So at first I thought this experiment was just to help us build up a habit of respecting any person, but it's also, I can see that people can divide into groups as well. Some people are very sincere, some people are polite, and some people just don't like to open up their hearts. And by conducting this experiment, I was able to open up my heart and talk to other person and respect them. And I think if other people like conducting this experiment as well, they will be able to do like I did as well. That's my experiment. Thank you.
Thank you. We're in the back somewhere. Yeah.
Hi everyone, I'm Ken.
Hi, Ann.
Yeah, I really love your speech. I think it's very fluent and well organized, and it's just like very special and unique because different. You just separate it into stage. I think this is very fun.
Yeah, it was still organized and easy to follow. Thank you, Ann. Improvement?
Hi, I'm Yan.
Hi, Yan.
If I have to pick up something for improvement, maybe it's like you can slow down a bit, because it's a bit hard for us in the background to follow you.
Okay, that's fair. It's hard to follow you. We're going a little quickly. Work on your pronunciation, and that will help you be clearer and more effective. I like that you divided it up into a unique way. I'm glad that you were organized. So that was good. As far as the first attempt, I don't know what you did, but it sounds like you gave her a very scary look because she said, "Are you going to kill me?" That's that's not a normal thing that people usually say to each other. Maybe she was joking, but you got to learn to monitor your nonverbal. You could have just said it silently to yourself, maybe without such a broad smile, and maybe gotten a better result. On the store clerk that gave you free samples, you judged that to be positive and a good interaction, and you were being respectful and feeling respected, and it was a reciprocal situation. And then you had an observation about everyone's different, and the Uber, I guess you call it, didn't want to open up and was just very, very closed and tight-lipped. And I think that could be a product of the circumstance and the environment. Like you to have said just a little bit more on what you learned and summed that up better. But overall, you did a nice job, David. Thank you. Any more respect?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, how you doing? Good. Good.
Hi everyone.
He's texting. Wait for everybody. Clear your voice. Say your name. Feel the love. Start your speech.
Hi everyone. My name is Li Yan, and you can just call me Yan.
Hi, Yan.
Today I will be sharing with you my experience last week of the RESPECE experiment. First of all, let me start with the good part. Last week I was actually having an argument with my roommate about something like I think we should turn off all the lights at night when we sleep because we are not using them. But she thinks we should keep at least one of the lights on. at first I felt it was a simple issue because it's common sense to turn off every light when we are not using it. So I just like ignore the problem and just do things in my own way. But after the lesson of the experiment last week, I re-thought about this issue, and I went back to talk about this problem with her again. Finally, I have the chance to understand how she felt and what's her concern about the light thing. She thinks that it is safer to have a light turned on at night when we have to get something from the kitchen or what. So I felt that conflicts or arguments between friends can be better resolved by open conversations like this. Respecting friends are not just ignoring all the arguments. It can also be like sitting down and talking openly with her. And for the bad part, it was not so bad actually. It was just embarrassing for me. When I tried to show my respect to one of my new classmates, I was actually forcing a smile to her every time we had eye contact at that class. I only realized that after she turned around and said, "Is there anything on my face?" It was quite embarrassing, but it actually started our conversation, and we became friends. So it's not really bad. And lastly, for the ugly part of the experiment, there's one day I went shopping at the mall, and I tried to start a small conversation with the cashier at the supermarket. So actually I was not very comfortable with this kind of small talks with strangers. So I have to I finally decided to start the conversation. I said, "Hi, how are you doing today?" I think that was quite warm for me to do that. So I was expecting a friendly response from him, but instead of that, he said nothing, and that surprised me, and I was a bit embarrassed and maybe angry. So I actually said nothing after that to him. Later that night, when I was doing my respect experiment summary, I thought about it again. I think he was actually not intent to ignore me. Maybe it's because he was very busy that day, or he just had a bad time. Or maybe my voice was too soft that he couldn't hear me. But it was not right for me to not say thank you to him after all the things. So I think it's quite hard for us to keep respect in mind all the time. especially when we are in bad mood or when we did not get the expected respect from others. And so, in summary, I think respect can come naturally with, as long as we are sincere to others. Yeah, that's my experiment. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ucla.
I'm
I'm Joe.
Hi, Joe.
I really love your speech. You have projected your voice really well, and you have provided us with really detailed stories, which is easy for us to imagine how the situations work when it happen, and to think in your perspective.
Okay, thank you. Improvement?
Hello everyone, my name is Georgia Ray.
Hi, Georgia Ray.
I find your speech was really good, very interesting. I thought a couple times maybe you paused and it kind of stopped the momentum, so maybe you could work on fluidity a little bit.
Fluency. Jan, let me talk about your speech. You started off with kind of a general introduction. It didn't really grab me. It wasn't much of a preview of the good, the bad, the ugly. So give us more of a detail if that's coming. I want to stress overall that you repeat the mantra, I respect you, and sometimes people will ignore you, and you saw that, but you still repeat it and try, because it's for your benefit to be respectful, even though you've been trained if someone's a jerk to you, well, that's it. I'm cutting them off, right? Yeah. So, the discussion about the lights and the roommate, and I thought that was pretty good, and I thought you came to a good understanding of where she was coming from. I thought she was a tree hugger that was going to say we need to save the trees and not use any electricity, or you were going to say that to her, or it was going to be a conversation like that. But it turned out she was just saying it's a little safer at night. You don't bump over things and hit people and walk over into people's heads. So I like the way that the respectful attitude worked that out. So that was good. On the supermarket, yeah, you self-corrected yourself later and saw that you were being a little hard. So that was good. And I would like to have had a little bit more of your summing up of what you learned. Say some more about the whole experience. But overall, you did a nice job. Thank you. Any more?
Yeah.
Okay, the tape is rolling. How's your arm holding? You need to have her take over?
She wants to.
You're doing a good job there. You put the head up high on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. How much? What are we looking at? 34.
4 minutes.
Hi, how you doing? Good. That's good. Tan Long.
Yeah. Hi everyone, my name is Tan Long.
Hi, Tan Long.
And I guess I'm the last one. So I will start from a quote. Respect for others guides our mind, and respect for ourselves guides our moral. So it's said by Lawrence Stern, and actually it is really simple but straightforward. It tells us how respect is important to both interpersonal values and interpersonal communications. They are of same importance, but in my experience, I focus more on how respect helps with interpersonal communications that helps people to build better relationships with each other. So there are 3 really interesting stories that happens during my experience. The first one is a good one, as good as a fairy tale. Was on my way back to the dorm when I finished the Tuesday's class. So when I just passed the Fuller's Museum, my curiosity just drove me to the gate. I opened up the door, and then a security guy just popped up right in front of my face. I was like, whoa. And then I can tell he was not in a good mood. And he soon proved it, saying, he was like shouted, like, what are you doing here? We're not open on Tuesday and you should not be here. When I was just about to shut the door and leave, I remembered the class and our experiment. So I was like, I nodded my head, I smiled to him saying, how are you doing? I'm sorry, I don't know it was open. It was not open on Tuesday. Well, to my surprise, the security guy was thin, and he smiled back to me embarrassingly, saying that, it's okay, I'm good. We are not open on Tuesday. I'm sorry, we just open from Thursday to Sunday. And he actually gave me a nice brochure. I forgot to take it this day, but yeah. It has a lot of like exact time when the Fuller's Museum is open. So from this experiment, I learned that respect is mutual. When you give somebody your respect, you receive his respect back from him. So the second experiment is not as good. It was more like a tragedy, or like a tragic comedy. So I was waiting in line to get into a dining hall. So and there's a group of middle school cheerleaders standing right behind me. They were pretty cute. So I was like, I turned around, and then I smiled and nodded my head and looked at them, and well, they responded not as I expected. So they were like looking at me like they were looking at a weird old guy. Well, I guess I'm old compared to them, but not being weird. So it was not that successful, but I actually learned that respect had to come out of your heart. You can't just, trying to show respect with a routine behavior, but it is the respect that comes out of your heart that shapes your behavior and your mind. The third story was kind of like a horror. It was that Wednesday after the class, so I was studying in the study room. I was actually watching a movie in the study room. So there suddenly came in 6 police, and they tell us to look out for a guy in the orange shirt. It was in the sprawl hall. I'm not sure if anybody remembers that. So I was just standing there, and after they left, I saw that guy with the orange shirt standing right out of the study room, and on my way back to my dorm. So if I have to get back to my dorm, I have to go past him. And I don't have my phone with me, so I was kind of worried that how should I tell the police or how should I get back to my dorm. I decided to wait into the study room until the guy was left. I waited an hour until it is 1 a.m. in the morning. So the guy still standing there. I was like, I don't know what to do, and I decided to just go back to my dorm because I was so tired. I was like walking towards them as fast as I could. When I approached him, I literally meditating, I respect him, and I just looked up and smiled at him, and I was like, how are you doing? The man actually stares at me, that I have to move my eyes away. And then I walked directly to my dorm, and I can tell that he's staring me all the way until I got back to my dorm. It was kind of scary. It was definitely not a good experience, but it actually tells me that to accept the respect from others, you have to first learn to respect yourself. If you don't respect yourself, you can't feel the respect from others. So all in all, those experiments taught me that respect can actually help with interpersonal relationships, but there are just 2 preconditions. First of all, you have to learn to respect yourself, and secondly, the respect have to come out of your heart. So that is my experience, but there is a bonus story. It happened just this morning. So I was on my way to the class. I was kind of late, so I was kind of in a hurry. So I saw a man who's like really tall, standing right behind the gym. I was thinking that he might belong to the basketball team or things like that. But then, so when I approached him, I just looked up. He was really tall, so like just looked up and smiled. And then when I looked at him in his face, I was like, oh, it was Kevin Durant. I'm not sure if everybody knows him. He's an NBA star. He's really famous. It was Kevin Durant, and then he actually smiles back to me and saying like, how are you? I was so in a hurry, I just forgot to ask for the signature. So, It's kind of pity, but yeah. So this is my bonus story, and that's my experience.
So thank you.
So I really like your
Start
speech.
with your name, please.
Hi, I'm Daisy.
Hi, Daisy.
So I think you did a really good job on your speech. You were really competent. Your voice was loud. You had good eye contact with everyone in the room, and you had like some funny points, make everyone laugh. So it was overall like a really good speech. I like it.
If your audience can laugh with you, you've established a bond and there's a good connection.
Right.
It's a good thing, yeah. Improvement?
Hi, America.
Hi,
Erica.
Actually, I thought it was really good. I think the only thing is wait for everybody to finish laughing because you would talk sometimes and it was hard to hear what you were saying over the laugh.
Yeah, wait for the laughter to subside. I wrote here, occasionally your diction was flawed, you slur words, and so you want to work on your pronunciation so you're clear. Let's start with your stories. Your preview was okay. I would have liked to have known that there were 3 stories coming. Your story of the museum was good. You handled it well. You disarmed the very gruff clerk by "How are you today?" and "Sorry." It goes to the old biblical proverb of "A soft answer turneth away wrath." So, you were soft and you were apologetic, and the guy gave you a brochure, and it worked out nicely. And so you were respectful. You weren't like, "Hey, man, I belong in here. I'm supposed to be here." So that was good. On the second story that you called a tragedy, and that was with cheerleaders. I guess I don't know how you were looking at them. If you were staring at them, if you were glaring at them, if you were hawking
I was
them,
just like
or-
normally looking at them, but then it is kind of weird to like just look at somebody when she's like behind you.
Yeah. So I don't know what you expected or that kind of thing, but I did like very much the lesson you got out of that, and I think that this is true. And I've said this to others before, that if your heart is pure, this is especially true, that this is going to get you through a lot of scrapes and problems, because you can just say, I'm just being friendly, I didn't know, I'm sorry, I'm sincere, and if you're pure in heart, you will get through a lot of situations. On the third story of the police telling you to look out for a man in an orange shirt, what part of the story I didn't get was, did you call the police after you got away from him and tell them that he was down there?
I called the police after I got back to my dorm.
And did they get him?
I don't know, but yeah.
You went to sleep.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the Kevin Durant bonus story was a good story. It sounds like this is somebody you respect, and so that was all good. So overall, you did a good job of practicing the respect. The other thing I would say for your report is at the end, remember to give us kind of a summing up of what I learned. And here's what I got out of it. I know you did that, so in the
it's
middle
like
and stuff.
before the bonus story, because
Yeah.
it just happened today, and then I didn't add it to my speech.
Yeah. Okay, nice job. Thank you. Any more?
Oh, do you want to? Just don't press the red button.
Your wrists are giving out?
No, he offered. He wants to do it.
Yeah.
Good man. All right, the dealio is don't touch that red button.
Yep.
And put their heads up high up there.
Yeah.
About up there. So that you get the full body shot. Okay, let's go. Next. No more respect? All right. Does anybody have their film speech ready? Okay, we'll do intro speeches. Next class, we'll do the A's and B's for the film. So A's and B's, be ready. So if you're an A or a B, be ready. let's hear the intro now. Let's start in the back row. Back row's a good place to start.
Seltzer's like a rubber.
Do I have a penny?
A pen.
A pen, yeah, I have a pen.
Thank you.
Who's your study buddy?
Tan Long.
What?
Tan Long.
Is he there?
Yeah, he is.
He should be up there with you.
Oh, you should?
Yeah.
Let me see.
Okay, did you all remember that the midterm is due next Tuesday? So everyone has that down as a date in their calendar? Okay, good.
Do I have to?
So I guess you got to do your speech.
Yeah, I have to do it extemporaneously. No name on this. Alvin, and what, is this your name, Alvin?
No, it's
You're Alvin, so you didn't put your name on this. Make sure your name is on your outline, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Who's going first?
I'll go first.
Okay, Alvin will go first. Okay, Alvin's managing attention, communicating respect, finding friendly eyes near the front and the center. Say your name, feel the love, start your speech.
Hello, everybody. My name is Alvin.
Hi, Alvin.
And before I start my speech, let me ask you all something. Who here is hungry? Yes, honest faces, because I am really hungry right now. And the reason why I bring this up is because, was it like 2 weeks ago when we were interviewing our study buddies? When I was interviewing Town Long, the only thing I could think about was, when am I going to eat again? What am I going to eat? But at the same time, I was very intrigued by a story about knowing the different types of variations of foods. And today I want to introduce to you my new study buddy, Town Long Wu. I will be telling you about his past, present, and future as he figuratively walks on this pathway to becoming an expert within the culinary world. I know you'll be very interested in my new study buddy because he is very ambitious in anything related to food, and he looks to overcome barriers in his life in order to pursue what he loves, which is food. And for Town Long, I can see that food and him correlate with one another, but in a good way, not in a bad way. So, what I mean to say is, like, food is your life as it consumes you, but at the same time, you've been eating food your entire life. First of all, let me explain to you by telling you his story. As a young child, Town Long traveled all over China to gain knowledge of the origins of well-known gourmet dishes. And later on in his youth years, he published an article in a food magazine describing his trips to China, or his travels within China. And currently, Town Long is coping with conflicted feelings. For one, he's feeling homesick from his mainland of China, and he describes it as being on the opposite ends of the earth. However, he enjoys his time in America because he knows he's able to find different dishes in America and find different variations in America. Like the Chinese foods, American foods, European foods. He describes America as a huge melting pot of cultural foods. In summary, I have told you about his past, present, and future for his love and admiration for foods. And in my opinion, I feel that Town Long is close to drawing himself within the culinary world. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you about his future. In the future, Town Long wants to be a food critic. He wants to try the best dishes, but not only that, he wants to know the origins and the the culture aspects of the foods. And in my opinion, I believe that he can be a good food critic. Like, I believe that he can fulfill his personal and career goals by becoming a great food critic. And I know all of you are thinking, you know, like food is just food. We only eat food to survive. But for Tianlong, I know like it's his hobby. And I really admire him for that because not many people today follow their hobbies. Like for